He runs a good pattern, takes it to the sideline. Watts, he makes a good catch here. Get those feet down. Nice play.
He is very graceful, isn't he?
Yep.
Boy, he's like a gazelle out there.
Well, all the good ones like Mervyn Fernandez and that, they just have that great, easy running style.
This is James Hood. And Hood gets the first down inside the 30-yard line, finally tackled by Fran McDermott, number 29, but it's another first down. And you almost get the feeling now that the Bombers are getting ready to put this one in the end zone.
Well, John Hufnagel, he's doing a masterful job here, mixing things up, out pattern, hitch pattern, and then he works the ball deep, too, just to make sure the cover guys don't get on him too tight, but he has to stand in there and take his licks when he throws that football.
First down, Winnipeg at the Saskatchewan 28, Willard Reeves. And Reeves is down inside the 20 before Jerry Friesen, number 50, made the stop. Hufnagel has been good on 5 of 7 passes for 64 yards as we wait and see what the penalty is about.
Well, I think once again Saskatchewan jumped offside.
Fran McDermott is shaken up on the play. Speaking with Jack Goda before the ball game, he really thinks he's a wonderful guy to have on a football team. He said, you know, he's not a great punt returner, but he doesn't cough up the ball, loves to play the game, very satisfactory inside safety.
Well, he was the Saskatchewan representative in the calendar men of the CFL that Kathy Clemens put together.
Saskatchewan.
There's John Gregory just in behind the head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. John's the offensive coach, and maybe he's one of the reasons this drive is going so well. He had the entire offensive crew around him before they went out, and he was lecturing them in no uncertain terms because John was obviously unhappy with the production. And maybe the change came directly from that meeting on the sidelines a few moments ago.
The offside penalty gives Winnipeg 1st and 5. Sean Keogh, the ball carrier, or no, it was Pat Kantner, number 33. Instead, Darrell Toussaint cut him down, but it's another first down for the Blue Bombers.
They were really keying on Willard Reeves there, and John Hufnagel crossed him up by giving the ball to Pat Kantner. Well, Joe Poplawski, great receiver, but that's a tough assignment to take on Rick Moore at defensive end. You know, Joe did a good job.
First down, Winnipeg at the Saskatchewan 15. The ball comes loose. The Roughriders have possession. Up at their 40-yard line, Dave Singh with the fumble recovery.
Well, it's the hit by number 45, Billy Jackson, that caused all that commotion. There you see him from the back. Hufnagel couldn't pull the ball back in. He was trying to pump fake, and Dave Singh comes up with a recovery.
So another bullet is dodged by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They continue to trail, however, 14-7. We'll be back in just a moment. He was going to pump fake. Dave Singh from the University of British Columbia gives Saskatchewan possession, and it also affords me an opportunity to welcome all the Canadian college football players who have started their training camp. I know they're probably watching the game this afternoon. Have a good year, guys. Give it everything you've got. Jordan goes deep, but he overthrows everybody, including the intended receiver, number 80, Michael Elarms.
Well, he tried to fake the out and up to Michael Elarms, but Roy Bennett, number 23, the fine cornerback of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, didn't bite at all, and Jordan did a smart thing to throw that thing away.
Leaf, I like the nickname the team's got him better than his real name. They call him Smoke Alarms.
And it works well, except that he does pronounce it Elarms, so it, you know, Smoke Elarms.
That's all right. They like it to rhyme. Smoke Alarms and not Elarms.
Tell you who's up here with us right now is one of those all-time all-stars, Brett Dawson, who doesn't like what he's seeing right now because Homer Jordan is sacked once again. Tony Norman finally gets him, but it was Frank Robinson, who all afternoon has been in that backfield, who was there to make the big play. Norman will get credit for the sack, but Frank Robinson has played so well. You know, we were just saying, Rhett, we really found it emotional standing up here watching that thing. And I'm sure it had to be for you, too. Had a nice visit with Rhett last night.
Rhett's up to his old tricks. He had me out for a few pops just like we used to do. We were trading lies and things, and the sad part about it is all the stories are true.
Jerry McGrath's punt. This is a good one. Steele is back to his 37-yard line. A flag is down, and so is Steele at the 48-yard line. Eddie Ray Walker was there to throw him to the turf.
Well, we're lucky to have Rhett with us up in the booth, and you're living down in Austin, Texas now. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's right, Luke. I'm down there in real estate and development. It's sure nice to be back up here. See all you guys.
You know
see
what?
the stadium.
You know what I think is really incredible, and the fans at home probably don't realize, is you only spent 2.5 years here in Saskatchewan, but those 2.5 years, people voted you as one of the all-time great receivers here. That must be some kind of honor for you.
Leaf, it's the greatest honor of my life. And to be back up here this weekend is just fantastic. See all the old guys. See you.
Well, you know, I always remember by the first touchdown pass you ever caught up here, and you went in the corner of the end zone, and the old cannon that used to go off. I thought you thought the cannon shot you.
I thought I'd done something wrong.
I remember we were doing that game, as a matter of fact. There's the little screen pass to the wide receiver, Jeff Boyd, and Boyd tiptoes down the sideline to about the 42-yard line before Billy Jackson forces him out. Let me ask you, are you involved at all with football? Do you watch much of it, Rhett? Or do you follow the NFL or the CFL? Or
Pat, I hate to say, I don't spend a lot of time watching it. I have lots of other things I like to do on weekend afternoons, but it's been a big part of my life.
Well, if you were here in Saskatchewan, I know you'd be interested in it because, boy, the whole province is just wrapped up in it, as you well know.
Greatest bunch of fans in the world, Pat.
They sure are.
So on second down and 4 yards to go, Winnipeg has possession at their 41-yard line. And the pass intended for Joe Poplawski is over his head, with Fran McDermott providing the defensive coverage. And so, trailing by just 7 points, Saskatchewan has forced Winnipeg into a punting situation.
Listen, old buddy, we do appreciate you dropping by, and it's good to see you. You look like you could still play.
Well, I feel like it. I'll tell you what, when I was out there at halftime today, I got a few chills up and down the spine myself.
Did you get the urge to go and catch a ball, though?
Sure. You know it.
Listen, all the best to you, Red. It's really great seeing you.
Nice being up here. Nice seeing you guys. Thanks.
Good to see you, Rhett. All the best. For only the 4th time this afternoon, Bob Cameron is punting for Winnipeg. Oh, and does he put this one in orbit? Stu Fraser at his 18-yard line, and Fraser gets it back to the 30. Down very quickly was John Bonk, number 43, the offensive center, to make the tackle.
What we have for everybody in the Winnipeg area is a recipe and interview book that is put out by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers players. It goes, as a matter of fact, all the money to the Manitoba Kidney Foundation and to minor football. But you have all the players that are taking place. Joe Poplawski, as an example, is one. Daryl Patterson, he likes chicken and champagne with oysters. That's not bad. John Pitts says peppery beef stroganoff. Poplawski likes sweet and sour. That's what you like, Pat. But it's available at the Winnipeg Blue Bomber office, and you can pick it up at any time starting tomorrow.
All right, there's a look at the new quarterback who is in to run that Saskatchewan offense, Harold Smith. As I mentioned earlier in the show, he is a first-year player with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but he was brought to Canada by the Edmonton Eskimos, and they paid him big bonus money. Jack Goda says this guy has a major league arm. His first pass went incomplete, but let's watch now on 2nd and 10 what he does from the 30. And the pass goes incomplete. Ken Haley providing the defensive coverage on Ray Algar.
Now, this isn't the kind of defense you want to go against to get your feet wet either. I mean, this is a tough group you're running at, but he's 6'2", 210, and boy, if size means anything, that's the perfect size for a quarterback. Tall guy that can see over those on-rushing defensive linemen. They see Homer Jordan and Joe Paopao discussing things. You know, I think it's extremely helpful to have a guy like Paopao, though he's not playing, to have him on the sidelines and maybe just go over a few things when a young quarterback comes off the field.
So Jerry McGrath, who has certainly had a lot more work than his counterpart, Bob Cameron, is back to punt again. This is a good punt. High, a lot of hang time. Steele slips out of the first tackle of Billy Jackson, but then is grabbed by number 62, Vic Stevenson, as he crossed the 40 to the 41-yard line. 1 minute and 9 seconds left to play in this third quarter. There's the pull. should the CFL increase the number of team timeouts allowed in the last 3 minutes of each half. If you want to vote yes, there's the number. If you think it should stay at 1 timeout per club, then you vote no. Penalty on that punt return, and here's the call.
Holding. Winnipeg 74. 1st and 10.
Vernon Paul, number 74, is called for holding, so the Blue Bombers are pushed back inside their 30 at the 29-yard line. We're winding down to the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Hufnagel has been good on 6 of 9 pass attempts in this quarter for 71 yards. And he gets nowhere as he's dropped back of the line of scrimmage at the 30-yard line. Rick Goltz, number 63, was there to make the tackle.
Well, he's had himself a pretty good ball game as well, but if you're the defensive coordinator of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, that's what you want to see. Make John Hufnagel run with the football, and he did a good job downfield covering those receivers.
Goltz is 63, Rick Moore is 76, and Gary Doolin, number 70. Jeff Roberts is 71, and he was impressive in that first half. Jeff Roberts is the man in there to get the quarterback sacked back at the 17-yard line. Well, this is the kind of a football game where they have had so many opportunities to capitalize, and Winnipeg hasn't done it. Saskatchewan is still in it, thanks to their defense.
Well, they really have played well as a group. Rick Goltz coming in on the play as well, but Jeff Roberts in his first game has looked extremely impressive. And, you know, I think that's one of the differences why Tommy Clements does all the quarterbacking really for Winnipeg most of the time, because he just has that little better mobility to maybe get away from the pass rush, whereas John Hufnagel is a pretty easy target to go after.
Jeff Roberts is 6'2", 245 pounds, and I'll guarantee you every pound is on there, and he's at least 6'2". Oh, what a punt by Cameron. This one is back to the 28-yard line. Bruce Miller has to field it there. And Miller gets it out to the 40 before Scott Flagel, number 14, is there to bring him down. There's a guy who's pretty happy at the end of the 3rd quarter. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers continue to lead the Saskatchewan Roughriders 14-7. We'll return with the 4th quarter in a moment. In Regina this afternoon, 29,588. There's your old pal, the Flame. Doesn't have his head on fire yet, though.
Oh, and that's good. I'm sure the people around him are happy for that.
The pass was intended for Craig Ellis and knocked away by Ty Jones, number 35.
Pat, I don't understand where they put the other people to make it a record crowd in 82, because it looks like every nook and cranny is filled here today, and yet they're almost 1,000 under their record.
Yeah, I don't think they're counting the people that are sitting on the rooftops, though, that are around here. If they counted everybody who was watching from some vantage point, guaranteed it has to be a record.
Maybe that's it.
There are the 3-quarter Chevrolet statistics, 287 to only 92. Not much of an offensive performance for Saskatchewan. The pass is complete to Michael Elons in front of David Shaw.
Yeah, he made a good catch, too, to hang on to football, stay in bounds, and Dave Shaw gave him a pretty good shot into the bench. But you saw those 3rd quarter stats, and that 92 yards, I mean, really tells the story. Had they been able to really put some offense together, they could have been well up on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
But the amazing thing is that they're still in the football game.
Yeah, that's a great catch.
Coming into this ball game, Michael Elarms had caught 23, 2 of them for touchdowns. And so far in the ball game today, he has 3 more for 27.
John Sturdivant is the injured ball player. Of course, last week, the Pacific Western Lineman of the Week had himself a great game, and he's had some injury problems the last few years, but heck of a good defensive end.
Well, one of the reasons that they have had some problems offensively, statistician Bobby Layden points out, are the 7 sacks registered by that Winnipeg defense. But it's a first down, Saskatchewan. The ball at their 51-yard line. Harold Smith, the quarterback, throws. Elgard wasn't able to bring it in. Boy, Haley was on him immediately.
He was, and was the heat ever coming from number 35, Tyrone Jones. Harold Smith had to let that ball go, and Ray Elgard almost made a circus catch.
Harold Smith does have the good gun, though, as Jack Goda suggested. He's from Texas Southern, and he can throw the football.
Watch Ray Elgard makes a great attempt here, but just a little too far. But I like that size of Harold Smith, 6'2" and 210. You know, you kind of figure he's going to be a pretty sturdy guy back there, can take the odd shot and see over those linemen coming in.
Look at this one. He's looking for Elons, but he couldn't catch up to the football. Roy Bennett was with him step for step.
I mean, he just flicked his wrist. I mean, he didn't wind up and really throw that thing hard. He just flicked that wrist and overthrew Michael Elarns.
Yeah, I would suggest we remember this fella's name. Harold Smith, I think, is going to be able to play in this league. This is the first opportunity we've had to see him, but boy, he can throw the football.
Jerry McGrath's been a busy guy this afternoon.
How many punts? He has had 11 punts. Sean Keogh goes nowhere as he's wrapped up at the 24-yard line by Mark Ernest, number 54. So with 13 minutes and 16 seconds left to play in the ball game, Winnipeg continues to lead at 14-7. We'll be back in just a moment. Saskatchewan do something offensively because they're still in this ball game. And there you see Winnipeg's last victory in Regina was September the 5th of 1982.
Interesting point for the next game for Saskatchewan. It looks like Pau will be ready at quarterback to start against Montreal. That's a week today. Next Sunday in Montreal at the Big O. So
well,
he's going to make it quite a game.
Yeah, he's had himself a good season. It was really unfortunate that he was injured.
Willard Reeves, the ball carrier, and he gets those knees pumping high. Gets out over the 30 to the 32. Eddie Lowe and Darrell Toussaint were there to combine on the tackle. So the pickup is about 7 yards, make it 2nd and 3. Look at Eddie Lowe. He's had a big game this afternoon.
Well, I tell you, he does a heck of a job taking on big old Nick Bastaya, sheds him off, and then makes a play on Willard.
Down 3.
But the interesting thing is, this ball game is up for grabs with still 12.5 minutes left to play.
Well, if you're a defense lover, you've had a great game to watch this afternoon.
2nd down, 3 yards to go. Hofnagel's pass is caught by number 29, Jerome Erdman, and he'll have the first down. Fran McDermott forced him out up around the 38-yard line.
That's a pretty good throw by John Hofnagel. That's a long way to pick up just a few yards to throw that football, but Jerome Erdman, who has played well for them, of course, he replaced Rick House. That's his first catch this afternoon. Rick House, of course, free agent going to the Edmonton Eskimos, but Jerome Erdman's come in and done a good job.
So Winnipeg will continue their possession. The ball is actually spotted just inside their own 39-yard line. Here's the reverse to number 70, Jeff Boyd. Look at the speed of this kid. And he's down very close to the Saskatchewan 41-yard line before Eddie Ray Walker, number 2, finally makes the tackle. But he is blinding fast. 30 yards to pick up by Jeff Boyd, but there was a penalty marker down on the field.
Well, they really do a good job executing this. Couple of good blocks out in front. There's John Blanc, number 43. Jeff Boyd, or rather James Hood downfield helping out as well, but all for naught as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are penalized, and that ball's coming back.
It's coming back, but
Illegal block. Winnipeg 65. After yards gained. 1st and 10.
Okay.
So you heard it. The call was on Nick Bastaya for an illegal block, but they did pick up the first down before the infraction. So they'll have possession at their own 49-yard line, Winnipeg. This is Willard Reeves, and Reeves gets to the line of scrimmage not any further. Rick Goltz, number 63, was there to bring him down.
Well, that group of Rick Goltz, Jeff Roberts, and Rick Moore have really had themselves a good day.
They came from all over for this game. This guy traveled a few miles.
I think he was at the party I was at last night.
He looks a little like you did.
How could you play the day after parties like that?
Well, I didn't play a heck of a lot.
So it's 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Winnipeg at their 49. Jeff Roberts was offside, number 71. Hufnagel was sacked by Rick Goltz, but the 5-yard penalty will make it 2nd and 5, Winnipeg.
Now you're going to see number 71 at the bottom of your screen. There he goes, Jeff Roberts. Offside. Hufnagel's got a free one, but he couldn't get the ball away.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers haven't made many.
Offside. Saskatchewan 71. 2nd down repeated.
I was saying they haven't made any changes to any great extent, and the reason is, as far as Cal Murphy is concerned, he said, although there's a tremendous amount of talent available, we're not going to make changes for change's sake. And Cal feels stability is more important than anything else. In other words, keeping units together rather than just making changes because you can find somebody who might be a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree with that philosophy too, Bill. It's 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Willard Reeves has a big hole, has the 1st down, and is still going inside the Saskatchewan 40 to the 39 before Dave Singh finally hops on his back to bring him down at that point. But the pickup is 16 yards for Willard Reeves on his 16th carry of the ball game for a total of just 58 yards.
That's a good call by John Hufnagel, too. Saskatchewan's been getting some pretty good pressure in this 3rd and 4th quarter. And he just crossed him up by handing off to Willard Reeves in the drop plane. Boy, he can run with that football.
1st down, Winnipeg. Pass is complete to Hood, but on him right away was Eddie Ray Walker, the cornerback, number 2 on that side. James Hood has been a very busy fellow this afternoon. He's caught 10 passes for a total of 104 yards. And we're going to have to give him every consideration for our Carling O'Keefe offensive game star as well. Pickup was about 5 yards.
Saskatchewan anticipating the Bombers to run as they bring 77 Al Johns in and take number 50, the linebacker Jerry Friesen, out of the ball game.
Hufnagel's pass just incomplete. Looking for Randy Faby, number 72, and Randy's got to be pleased. His dad was one of the old Saskatchewan Roughriders, Martin Faby, who was introduced here at halftime. Former punter with both Montreal and Saskatchewan, and the ball just goes off his fingertips.
Well, we were talking to Cal Murphy about Faby before the ball game, and he said the kid's just a little rough around the edges right now, but in time he thinks he can be a real plus for this Winnipeg offense.
Kennard has been good on 2 of 3 field goals. This one comes from 41 yards out, and it is good. And it's a big one because it gives the Winnipeg Blue Bombers a 10-point lead. Winnipeg 17, Saskatchewan 7. We'll be back in a moment.
This is my car. It takes a big chunk out of my paycheck every month. So I want
this car to last. That's why I use Quaker State. It's especially
blended motor oil, made to help my car last for a long, long time. And a long, long time.
how long I intend to keep my wheels. Because to tell you the truth,
a long, long time is how long it's going to take me to pay it off. Quaker State helps cars last.
That's the final play. Your team works hard and that's your game. Bring your thirsty self out here. You've got the time, we've got the beer. For what you have in mind. Hey, yeah. Come on, it's Miller time.
The clean, smooth taste of Miller High Life. That's Miller time.
Next Saturday afternoon, we'll all be at Lansdowne Park in the nation's capital to watch the Blue Bombers against the revitalized Ottawa Roughriders. That game will come to you at 1:30 next Saturday afternoon, live here on CTV.
Well, I was really impressed with Ottawa's defense the other night on their loss to the BC Lions, but they've just got to get a little more on offense, and they could take advantage of some of their opportunities against some of these better clubs.
Saskatchewan starts from its own 35-yard line. Pass is complete to Ray Algard for a first down up at the 47-yard line. Tackle was made by Darrell Patterson, number 76.
Boy, am I ever impressed with the delivery of young quarterback Harold Smith. He just zipped that right in there. Ray Algard, a good pattern, find that soft spot in between the linebackers.
Well, it's true. The Blue Bombers have the Grey Cup, and they're certainly one of the elite teams. Yeah. They are one of the elite teams in the CFL, and if they can win this one this afternoon, they'll put the pressure right back on the BC Lions again. Pass is no good. Up around midfield. He was looking for Krista France, but the hit was made by Wiley Turner.
And Scott Flagel, number 14, also came over and laid the lumber on him. Talked about him earlier. Really has become a fine safety.
Well, you're not going to be too impressed with Harold Smith's numbers, but the guy has thrown the football very well. I can't believe that he's thrown 13 passes. It's 8. It's 2 for 8. Well, they run the little counter to the 50-yard line and come up with only a gain of 3 yards because Tony Norman was there to close it down. Craig Ellis couldn't pick up that one big block that he needed. So the Riders will be punting with 7:54 left to play.
You know, this game is not only tough for the players, Pat and Leaf. It's a real sunny field here where the Blue Bomber fans are sitting. And I think it's a good thing they got Labor Day to get back home and a day to rest before they go to work, and they'd never make it if they had to start work tomorrow.
Well, I mean, the Grey Cup best. I mean, it was just a Grey Cup mood around Regina last night. Good punt by McGrath. Steele is back to his 3-yard line. And returns it all the way to the 20. Mike Anderson, number 66, was there to make the tackle. It's a 17-7 ball game in favor of the Blue Bombers. We'll be back in just a moment. The Blue Bombers are going to be in Ottawa next Saturday, but their next home game is a dandy. They'll play host to the Montreal Concords. Montreal off to its best start in years. They've had a week off, and they are impressive. If you get an opportunity, go watch the Montreal Concords, who incidentally will be in Hamilton tomorrow night.
Well, they sure have put together a great team, and a lot of credit, of course, goes to head coach and general manager Joe Galat, Bob Geary there, stable force in that organization, and boy, I've been impressed with the way their team has performed.
Hufnagel couldn't find anybody